President Trump gave a speech at CPAC. That's the Conservative Political Action Conference, I think it stands for. And, man, these things are coming faster and faster now. Like, I feel like the last CPAC speech was like 3 months ago, but it was a year ago. Anyway, so he gave this speech, and in it, he absolutely lit up Mike Bloomberg and Elizabeth Warren.
We got Mini Mike, but I think he's out of it. I would like to spend $700 million and end up with nothing. Mini Mike. I know him well. I knew that was going to happen. That was probably the worst debate performance in the history of presidential debates. Do we agree? Has there ever been anything like that? But he's going to keep spending the money. I think this weekend he's going to, I hear his ad stop on Tuesday. He's going for Tuesday. He's going to spend a lot of money. It just shows you that you can't buy an election. I mean, there's a point at which people say, you got to bring the goods a little bit too. You got to bring the goods. Boy, did Pocahontas destroy him, I'll tell you. And look what I did to her. She choked. You know, she went out and got a test because I was killing her with a Pocahontas. Remember I said, I have more Indian blood in me than she does, and I have none. Right? I said it to her. Love to have some, but I have none. And she was getting hit with that name, Pocahontas. That was one of the good ones. And they said, we want you to apologize for that name. And I did. I apologized. Nobody ever heard me apologize before. I apologized. To the real Pocahontas, I apologize. But she went out and she said, oh, this guy's killing me. Remember, she was dropping like a rock. But I learned something. Never do it too early. A year and a half before the election, I said, what am I doing? I should have saved it. But that's all right. Because she had those burning embers, and then she started, but ultimately she failed. She's gone so. But she was really mean to Mini Mike, I'll tell you, the way she treated her. He didn't know what hit him. He's going, oh, get me off of this stage. Get me off! Get me off of this stage!
There's no way anybody but Bernie has a chance against Trump. No way! Oh, that was good material, man. That was genuinely funny. I laughed at multiple times throughout that. It is scary to me that anybody could really think that Biden or Bloomberg or any of them are more electable. Imagine thinking Klobuchar or Pete would stand up well to that. See, what they don't get, which Trump gets, is the new political era that we're in. He helped usher in this new political era. It's no longer the era of blowing smoke up your ass. Because that was the political strategy for the longest time. Ronald Reagan with "It's Morning in America," and America's so wonderful and beautiful and perfect and amazing, and it's morning in America, yeah. And Bill Clinton followed that same candidate model of talk about how great this country is, and tell everybody about our bright and flowery future by using these unnecessary words that are way too long. And it was the era of professionalism. You have to be buttoned down. You have to talk like this, but don't point at them with your finger. You have to just do it that way because that's too aggressive and that's not too aggressive. And then what Trump did is he came in and he basically said, all these rules that you guys are playing by, it turns out they're not actually rules. And all it took was somebody to come in and say, I'm going to do the exact opposite. And then everybody went, oh, well, that's interesting. And he ended up winning. And so it's the populist era, not just populist in terms of policies, and it is populist in terms of policies because that's what people want, but rugged and populist in terms of delivery. So, he has a lot more in common with somebody doing a stand-up routine right there than he does with a president. But that's what's landing. That's what's landing. And honestly, I think a lot of this might have to do with the fact that it's the age of the internet, too. And the age of the internet, shitposting is an art. people on the left, people on the right, people go in. And if you try saying something stupid on Twitter and then see how you get out of it, you won't be unscathed, I guarantee you. But that's the era that we're in. So he's like the first troll in chief or shit poster in chief. And he's just up there riffing, making fun of these people. And by the way, like I talked to somebody about this recently and they were like, I don't like that he does it because he's bullying and bullying is bad. It doesn't matter who you're bullying. And like my response to that is, and I think many people believe this subconsciously, is no, Mike Bloomberg is a billionaire oligarch who's corrupt and he's trying to buy a country and he's successfully buying a political party. And if there's anybody who deserves a little bit of bullying, it's that guy. So one of the things that's happened with Trump is people don't even like Trump. It's they hate the same people that he hates. You see what I'm saying? So it's almost like a weird alliance where it's like, I don't like this guy. In fact, I kind of dislike this guy. But the fact that he's going after these, target-rich environments of people who take themselves too seriously and are so smug and are massively corrupt, I can't help but like it. And that's exactly what I think here when I see this. It's funny. His delivery is funny. The way he's going after them. And by the way, the only card that these people have, and it drives me crazy, oh my God, it drives me crazy, is, say with me, the offended card. Because what do? They go, like, take the thing he said about Elizabeth Warren. Oh! Pocahontas is racist! Stop saying it. And Trump's response to that is, yeah, no, and I'm going to keep saying it. And then it ends up working when he does it on this front, particularly because there's a freaking Disney movie called Pocahontas. It's like, the case that you're trying to make is too far in Wokesville to land with the general population. So when he's just like, no, it's not racist, and I'm going to keep saying it, people are like, oh, okay. All right, well, he's leading the charge on it. What are you going to do? So, I mean, it doesn't work when all you have is the policing discourse card. Like, instead of responding to what Trump says, they try to draw clean lines around the stuff he's allowed to say, and then if he steps outside of that stuff, they wag their finger and they go, sir, how dare you? How could you? You're not allowed to say that. And then the fact that people respond like that make people like what Trump's saying even more. Because if there's one thing they're fed up with, it is true. People are sick of political correctness. They just want to, okay, just give me room to fucking joke around and breathe and say whatever the hell I want without you jumping down my throat and calling me a bigot every 4 seconds. So in a weird way, the reaction to a lot of this Trump stuff only emboldens this Trump stuff. Because people, they're like, relax a little bit. Like he's just messing around. So, it's weird because the institutional response from the establishment media and from the corporate candidates always fails. Still, we're years into the Trump administration. They still don't get it. They still don't know how to fight him. The only one who does is Bernie. Because what does Bernie do? He doesn't get sucked into the Trump game. What Bernie does is he looks at it like he's a disappointed father and Trump's his idiot son. And he's like, I don't know what you're doing and I don't really care, but what I'm going to do is get people health care and I'm going to get people a living wage. And he changes the conversation. He shifts the paradigm. He goes and focuses on the things that you should focus on if you are a president and you really want to improve lives. And when you do that, all of a sudden he's off his comfortable footing. He's off the grounds of the debate being on his terms. And that's how you beat him. None of the candidates get that except Bernie. He's the only one who gets it. He'd look at Trump's antics and he'd be like, okay, anyway, back to a living wage. Like, that's what he does. And that would land because people would be reminded, oh, okay, yeah, this is a race for president. Person who's going to make a lot of very important decisions that affect all of us. And what Trump is doing is hilarious from a comedic perspective. But, I have kids and I want my kids to have a bright future. And this guy's the only one who's actually looking out for it. I'm going to vote for him. So Trump would obliterate Elizabeth Warren. Trump would obliterate Michael Bloomberg. Trump would obliterate Biden. They already released an ad showing his mental decline. They're not going to, the idea, and a lot of Democrats do this, they're like, oh, certain things are out of bounds. I'm not going to go after Biden on these things. Trump's like, I'm going to go after him on exactly those things. And so no holds are barred in the general. So I don't know why you're pulling your punches in the primary. And he will exploit every single weakness. And he's already doing it with Biden. Bernie is the only one with a chance. Bernie is the only one that's electable.